In the bustling city of Seoul, Korea, Sung Jinwoo grapples with his identity as an E-rank hunter. Amidst his travels, he humorously acknowledges the somewhat embarrassing nature of his hunter status. Having graduated from high school without any notable talents, he reluctantly opts for a part-time hunter role, driven not by passion but by the dire need to secure allowances from the Hunter Association for his ailing mother's medical expenses. In this realm, the Grade E dungeons are considered the weakest challenges, easily conquered by ordinary individuals without external aid. However, Sung Jinwoo, despite consistently venturing into these dungeons, remains plagued by severe injuries, earning him the unfortunate title of the weakest hunter among mankind. The narrative unfolds at a construction site where an otherworldly gate emerges beneath the ground, prompting immediate action from the hunters. Sung Jinwoo, despite his E-rank standing and current part-time commitment, is obligated to join the mission. His awareness of his weakest status amplifies, knowing he has to work part-time on this particular day. Joining forces with a team becomes Jinwoo's strategy to offset his lack of strength and earn a quick income. Among the team members is Joo-hee Lee, a rank B female healer who consistently aids Jinwoo in his endeavors. In the midst of the crowd, a man named Song Cheol steps forward to take on the leadership role as the highest rank, a decision unanimously agreed upon. Thus, a team comprising 17 hunters is assembled to eliminate the looming threat. Before venturing into the dungeon, an elderly member of the team offers advice to Sung Jinwoo, urging him to stay behind the others to avoid getting hurt once more. With a mix of determination and trepidation, the team rushes into the dungeon entrance. As they prepare to face the impending danger, Sung Jinwoo, acutely aware of his past struggles, sighs, recognizing that today demands his utmost effort regardless of his rank. Inside the dungeon, flames were seen flying everywhere, and swords and spears clashed with various skills as weapons continually emerged. In the dungeon, hunters utilized their skills to eliminate monsters. Unsurprisingly, Sung Jinwoo found himself injured again. His good friend, Joo-hee, felt both heartbroken and helpless. She couldn't understand why someone as weak as Jinwoo insisted on being a hunter. Bitterly watching everyone easily defeat monsters, Jinwoo realized he was not suited for this job. However, he had no other choice but to try his best for his hospitalized mother's sake. After defeating monsters, items would drop. The old man in the group held a shining stone, a grade C, valued at over 60,000. To Jinwoo, grade C monsters were still too challenging, and he only received the lowest grade stone. In the midst of the chaos, a hunter shouted, "Look, everyone! There's another entrance." Before everyone appeared a cave within a cave, a double dungeon. Surprisingly, the legend of the double dungeon really existed. The old man shot a beam of energy into the cave, which looked deep and dark. The experienced old-timer sensed there would be a final boss inside. This situation needed to be reported to the association, but the risk of other hunters robbing the final boss was also considered. Team leader Song proposed a vote among the 17 hunters. The result was 8 agreeing and 8 disagreeing. The decisive vote belonged to Sung Jinwoo. Holding the low-grade stone with trembling hands, thinking of his sister in school and his mother in the hospital, he decided to vote in favor of going inside the double dungeon. In a slow and deliberate manner, the group of adventurers ventured further into the dimly lit corridor, each step echoing in the vastness. At the corridor's end stood an imposing door, shrouded in an air of mystery. The intricate architecture of the corridor, with its shadowy corners, heightened the unease among the adventurers. Old Song, displaying an air of caution, gently pushed open the colossal door, revealing a cavernous space beyond. He warned the group about the potential dangers that awaited and offered an opportunity for anyone feeling apprehensive to turn back. After these words, a sense of doubt started creeping in among the other boys. They realized that the abilities of Song were truly remarkable, and his style was notably aggressive, even compared to other hunters of high rank. Song himself acknowledged that if the old man were not in his 60 seconds, he could have easily joined any major guild. The others came to the understanding that they had reached their current position solely because of Mr. Song's guidance. Consequently, everyone else opted to follow him through the door. As the massive door creaked open, the adventurers found themselves standing in a breathtaking palace adorned with flickering torches. Towering statues, some brandishing weapons and others holding musical instruments, created an otherworldly ambience. The centerpiece of the hall was an intricately carved statue of the king, surrounded by an array of equally impressive stone figures. Adjacent to the statues, a weathered stone tablet prominently displayed the rules of the dungeon. Rule 1 stressed the importance of respecting the gods. Rule 2 encouraged praising the gods. and Rule 3 demanded proving one's faith. The consequences for violating these rules were made abundantly clear: no escape alive. Amid the collective awe, Jinwoo couldn't shake off a lingering sense of unease about the temple. The silence that enveloped the surroundings added an extra layer of tension. Suddenly, the door behind them shut with an ominous thud, sending shivers down everyone's spine. A hot-tempered young man, unable to contain his discomfort, unleashed a string of curses as he attempted to force the door open. The room fell into stunned silence as a stone statue swiftly retaliated, its blade hand executing the defiant intruder on the spot. Panic and fear spread among the group as they realized the seemingly inanimate stone guardians possessed a lethal and swift power. In the midst of this chaos, Jinwoo, recalling Juhai's earlier warnings, turned his attention back to the king statue. The once dormant stone eyes now glowed with an unsettling light, fixating on him and instilling a profound sense of dread. The intricate details of the palace and the unfolding events painted a picture of a perilous journey ahead, leaving the adventurers grappling with the unknown forces lurking within. Jinwoo pondered as the colossal statue stirred. Realization struck him. They were not only faced with the daunting task of battling these immense statues, but the deceased man with a mere D rank was stronger than him. Despite being perceived as weak, that individual surpassed Jinwoo in strength. It became evident that the dungeon's rank was, at most, D, a revelation unfamiliar to Jinwoo, who had never encountered such formidable monsters in a D-rank dungeon before. As the statues displayed unexpected mobility, Jinwoo concluded that the massive tumor nearby was the dungeon's boss. The predicament weighed heavily on him. They seemed ill-equipped for a raid against such formidable adversaries. Jinwoo recollected past instances when he found himself teetering on the brink of death. In his initial adventure, he lagged behind the group, got lost, and fell victim to an E-rank monster, resulting in weeks of hospitalization. There were even times when he faced starvation while trapped in dungeons. Despite the dungeons being far from prestigious, Jinwoo consistently risked his life. Unlike other hunters who traded magic cores for superior equipment to hunt stronger monsters and amass more treasure, Jinwoo struggled without such resources. The purchase of inexpensive weapons proved futile as they quickly broke, leaving him perpetually unequipped. Healers, though present, could only address non-severe wounds, and returning from raids with injuries drew sympathy from fellow hunters. Jinwoo endured being labeled the weakest hunter globally, facing isolation and criticism. Undeterred, he continued his work, seemingly resigned to a fate that might ultimately lead to his demise. Perhaps this history of struggle and resilience allowed him to grasp the gravity of the situation at hand. As Jinwoo gazed into the eyes of the imposing statue, a decision to rectify his past mistakes formed within him. Recognizing an impending threat, Jinwoo urgently shouted to his group, instructing them to quickly take cover on the ground. Following Jinwoo's warning, laser beams emitted from the statue's eyes, causing a dazzling flash in the room. Although the light narrowly missed them, some members who couldn't duck in time were tragically affected, with severed limbs scattered around them. Amidst the chaos, panic and screams erupted within the group as the reality of the situation sank in. Mr. Kim, barely avoiding the attack, realized that without Jinwoo's timely alert, many more would have perished. Some of the group members were in distress, having witnessed the destruction of their comrades. While Mrs. Juhai lay on the ground, trembling with fear, Mr. Song took charge, urging everyone to stay down and remain in their positions to avoid further attacks from the statue. Mr. Song managed to crawl over to Jinwoo, expressing concern for Mrs. Juhai's inability to cope with her fear. Despite being a B-rank healer, Mrs. Juhai found solace in the dungeons, where the situation seemed less daunting. Those who heeded Jinwoo's warning survived, while those who stood were not as fortunate. As Jinwoo pondered the events, Mr. Song questioned whether Jinwoo had foreseen the danger. However, Jinwoo clarified that he had merely sensed the impending threat. Upon examining Mr. Song's arm, Jinwoo noticed the severe injury, an arm ripped off by the attack. Despite the dire situation, Mr. Song reassured Jinwoo and urged him to assist in stemming the bleeding. Without hesitation, Jinwoo began wrapping Mr. Song's wound. Jinwoo was asked by Mr. Song for his opinion on the rank of the dungeon, but Jinwoo couldn't even imagine because he had never ventured into a dungeon higher than D rank. Mr. Song mentioned that he had only visited a B rank dungeon a few times and could confirm that this place far surpassed a rank dungeon by leaps and bounds. He noted the absence of monsters at the same level as here, indicating it might be in a ranked dungeon or even higher. Afterward, Jinwoo inquired about the tenets of the Temple of Karthinen, to which Mr. Song replied that the first was to worship the Lord, the second was to praise the Lord, and the third was to prove one's faith to him. He added that those who didn't adhere to the commandments couldn't survive, as inscribed on a slab. Then, Jinwoo shared his belief that the huge statue was likely the boss they needed to defeat to escape. However, Mr. Song countered, saying that even if they managed to vanquish all the enemies, it would still take too long. One fateful day, a mysterious gate materialized, serving as a portal that interconnected our world with an enigmatic alien realm. This significant event unfolded precisely a decade ago. Initially, life carried on as usual, but as time progressed, strange occurrences started to disrupt the tranquility. Amidst this unfolding mystery, a unique group known as Hunters emerged. These individuals possessed extraordinary powers, each varying in magnitude. Jinwoo found himself among them, though his abilities were limited, only earning him an E rank. Despite this, he surpassed the strength of many ordinary folks, a fact that brought a sense of satisfaction. However, a noticeable chasm separated him from those of higher ranks. Determined to bridge this gap, individuals with newfound strength immersed themselves in rigorous training. Their efforts transformed their once ordinary lives into a career of confronting and battling monstrous entities, earning them the distinguished title of Hunters. Yet, behind the looming gates, a sinister underbelly existed. The realm beyond harbored not only dangerous monsters but also a pervasive sense of foreboding. The Hunters, despite their valor, faced an ever-present threat from these malevolent creatures, adding an extra layer of peril to their courageous endeavors. Jinwoo shared with Mr. Song that the bleeding just wouldn't stop. Concerned about Jinwoo's condition, Mr. Song responded, unsure about what to do next. He admitted being surprised, as he had expected things to be easier. Mr. Song had brought in 3 healers, but things went south quickly. One healer got horribly killed, leaving nothing behind. Another healer was so shocked by the gruesome scene that they couldn't even speak. The third healer, the one you're familiar with, was having a tough time coping and might be haunted by the experience for a while. Mr. Song didn't have much confidence in their healing skills given the dangerous situation, and his worried expression showed it. They all agreed that escaping would be tough, especially after facing such brutality. The group's desperation puzzled others who wondered why they came to a supposedly not-so-dangerous D-ranked dungeon. Our main character realized that going past a big statue meant dealing with guards at the door, making it impossible to move forward. The challenges seemed too much to handle, and the group decided to wait for things to calm down before attempting an escape. Amidst the sudden danger, one of the hunters exclaimed that he wouldn't meet his end there. He mentioned that he had recently joined a regular guild and felt confident in his strength to escape. Just as he spoke, the leader urgently yelled not to proceed. Ignoring the warning, the hunter could only rely on his swift skills, sprinting like a bullet. In an unexpected turn, a colossal statue targeted him with laser eyes, leaving behind only his legs in an instant. The onlookers were shocked by the gruesome scene, unable to comprehend what had transpired. The realization struck everyone that they could face a similar fate at any moment. Jinwoo grasped the peril, understanding that they could be killed at any moment. However, the creatures seemed to spare them, perplexing everyone. It dawned on Jinwoo that the guards by the door adhered to some kind of order, protecting against any approaching threat. Reflecting on the situation, Jinwoo realized that the room had its own set of rules, akin to the precepts of the Karthanan temple. Startled, he turned to his friend, Song, seeking help. He inquired about the first commandment, and Song responded that it was to worship the Lord, indicating the largest statue. Jinwoo enlightened Song that the dungeon operated under its own rules. Despite Mr. Song's shocked reaction to Jinwoo's actions, he recognized the determination in Jinwoo's eyes, not that of someone seeking death. Jinwoo explained that the statue refrained from attacking those who moved, revealing a crucial aspect of the dungeon's rules.